Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Paranormal Debunker YouTube channel. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. So, I hope you guys are having an absolute wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And today, we will be talking about the quite wacky and unbelievable world of psychics. Pretty exciting stuff. So, to get started, what is a psychic? Well, a psychic is someone who has special abilities that allows for communication with the dead. Um, I personally think psychics today aren't real and they use the internet to access obituaries and other things about deceased loved ones or even yourself. So, with that all in mind, let's debunk these darn psychics. So, just saying, this video was a pain to search on the internet because a majority of the sites were talking about booking appointments rather than explaining them. So I'm going to wing this video with my personal knowledge, my demonology study, and science. With all that in mind, let's rock this video. So, to start this off, let's talk about Isaac Newton's third law of motion. Isaac Newton's third law of motion says that force applied on an object will have an equal push back, or it'll be met with the same force. So to kind of simplify this, I explain that if you throw a ball at a wall, it bounces off the wall with the same amount of force you threw the ball with. So, what does Newton's third law of motion have to do with psychics? Well, here's an interesting one. Every action bears a consequence, which is pretty much the same for everybody, not just for psychics. It's all across the board. What I'm saying here is that for every reading or magic or whatever you want to call it a psychic does, there are repercussions for it, both good and bad, however you want to, look at that. If a psychic does something bad and gives a bad reading or lies, their wrongdoing will be met with equal punishment, so to speak. The same goes for the opposite, where if they do something good, they get rewarded with good things. Also, witches and warlocks and all of the witchcraft religions like paganism and Wicca follow the threefold law, which basically says that if you do anything bad, you'll get bit in the butt for it 3 times worse than what you did to somebody else. So, with all of that fun stuff going on, let's talk about psychics in the 21st century. Here's an issue. Psychics have a lot of access to the internet nowadays. They have the ability to look up local obituaries and even stuff about you online, which is kind of scary. They can get all the information they need with just a tap of a button. Things like white pages, funeral home pages, and loads of other things. If we were talking about, the woman in ancient Rome that could do weird stuff or whatever, I could see it, but that's only assuming if they're right. But they probably weren't. Uh, I would say maybe there's something going on, but I'm pretty skeptical about it. So, what's the issue with these psychics? The issue is that they have way too much attention and publicity on TV and social media. That's just a really big issue, and they have way too many resources available to them. They'll always say that, oh, no, 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 I didn't look it up on Google. But are you really sure about that? You know what I mean? You always have to maintain that level of skepticism. But to each their own. So my next question is, do souls exist? I do believe that there are souls, but before we jump the gun here, here's some science to back that theory up. The law of conservation of energy, which if you studied physics, much the same like Isaac Newton's third law of motion, then you would know that the law of conservation of energy is that energy cannot be created or destroyed, just changed into different forms. So basically, here's a long rundown, but I'll kind of simplify it. So basically, the energy is in our body. That's the soul. The soul is energy. It's what drives the body and all that other stuff. Kind of like a pilot on an airplane. Without that pilot, that airplane is going down, buddy. It's going to go down. So, As described by the law of conservation of energy, it cannot be created or destroyed, only changed in form. So it would make sense that since the soul is energy, it leaves the body into a different form once we die. I differ from probably what a lot of people think. My religious background is, you either go to heaven or you go to hell. There's no in between. But that's up to the individual. That's just my personal take on it. Whatever you guys believe is totally up to you. That's entirely up to the individual. But here's where things get a lot of, get very interesting. A lot of fun. Psychics versus the souls. So here's another interesting thing. What is happening possibly, between the souls of the departed and the psychics? I think it has a lot to do with money and less with comforting people, you know, because these psychics get loads of money. We really only know now what we do through years of paranormal research and other research by others. I think that this is a notorious case of spiritual warfare, which is, kind of like the good versus evil, like in the comic books, but in real life. Spiritual warfare is a very real thing, and it happens everywhere 24/7. I think it's good versus evil. No, I'm not saying that all psychics are evil. I think some of them have good intentions, but, demons are known as deceivers. I mean, the devil himself is known as the great deceiver, and they disguise themselves as angels of light because the devil was once an angel of light. So I I think that a lot of the time these psychics are not talking with your loved ones. They are talking to demonic entities, and they're, you know, just falling for it. But really, I just think it's a lot about money. It's either that or demons are manipulating these psychics, but that's just me. That's just my take on it. So, in conclusion, I'd say that psychics may or may not be real, but their findings can be very easily debatable, especially in today's day and age. Well, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment what you think about this video. How can I make my videos better? Um, really anything and everything. I hope you guys have a great day or night. And until the next video, keep busting those darn ghosts.